Hello again, welcome to Joe's Home Flavors. Today we're going to be cooking some soup. And it's a Portuguese green soup, or as we call it, Caldo Verde. So for our soup today, we're going to need only a couple of things. So some cabbage, which in this case it's a heart cabbage, heart-shaped cabbage. We're going to need some potatoes, some onion to get it started, and some chorizo to finish the soup. Okay, and obviously some water and some salt and pepper and some olive oil as well. Okay, so the first thing I'm making is to prepare this chorizo to finish the soup. So it's funny because it's the last thing that I need, but it's the first thing that I'm actually going to sort out. So here I have already sliced it, so I've peeled the skin off and slice it not too thin because it doesn't need to be too thin. So I'm going to tell you how I slice these. So you take it and make just a small incision and go all the way around it, not too deep. Okay, and then the tip of the knife, just peel off that skin. Here we go. And then we cut it in slices, kind of like half an inch thick, and we put them there now. The idea is just to cook a little bit before we actually put in the soup. You don't need any fat for this because it will release from the chorizo itself. Right, so that's going to cook there for a little bit, not too much though. After a minute or so we can flip them over to cook on the other side as well. This is just a light sort of cook, just so it seals in those flavors, but it also gives it that smoky sort of flavor. This is smoked Portuguese chorizo or linguiça, but any chorizo will do, Spanish chorizo will do as well. The only thing is, it's not supposed to be with spicy chorizo, like in hot. So if you do use Spanish chorizo, make sure that you have the sweet one, not the one with a kick. Right, so we're pretty much done here. As you can see, they are lightly tanned, and you can now reserve that back to its own bowl. You see that fat that has been released from the chorizo? Don't throw it away. That's a sin. So save it. You can use that for soups, not in this particular soup, but you can use it for other soups or even for any other cooks that you do, like stews and pot roasts and things like that. So just store that because that's liquid gold. So let's move on then. Right, so now we have, I have chopped the onions, which we're going to need to start the base, and I've also diced the potatoes, and that's not for any particular reason, it's just because it helps, it cooks faster, and then because the whole thing is going to be blended anyway, but the smaller the potato, the faster it cooks. So yeah, so that's prepped. We have our chorizo, which we're going to finish with, and now we need to take care of our kale. Okay, so first thing we do is to chop it in the middle, like in the center of the kale or the cabbage. Okay, here we are. So in the middle, now we see that there's this white part. We need to get rid of that. So that should be pretty easy, like that, and in the triangle, and that goes off. Right, so next step, we need to open up these all the leaves, open them all up, and yeah, take them all away from each other. If you have any residual white parts, like the core of the kale, just take them out. Be gentle with your knife, and we need the leaves all to be separated. This is not complicated, I promise you. It's really cool to make as well. So again, another little bit there. Take that away. Right. So now we have a bunch of leaves just hanging loose, right? So what we do now, my suggestion would be, for example, if you have two leaves like this, line them in opposite positions. So, and again, this one goes this way, and the next one goes that way, okay, and then another one goes this way, okay, and then this one is a big one, goes that way. So let's say we have this many leaves, okay. I'm going to take these onto my side here so you can see the process clearly, okay. Right, so we have the leaves here. But what we do now is, on one end, we start rolling them in a cigar sort of thing, okay. We roll them, apply pressure, and then just go from one end and chop the end of it. And now we go really thinly, like that. Okay. If you need, tighten it up a little bit more and go again, really thin, as thin as you can. Adjust your hands and go again. Mind your fingers. It's like you're cutting it into pasta. Okay, roll it up again a little bit. Don't let go of your grip. Mind your fingernails. So as a result, we will have this sort of cabbage pasta sort of thing. Okay, so that's the consistency. That's the aspect we're going for. Okay, so we have our potato, we have our onion, we have our chorizo to finish it off, and we have our cabbage, which is the most important bit. So we're pretty ready to go. I got my pot here. I'm going to start it with a little bit of olive oil and my onion. This is one small onion, chopped. So this will sweat here for a little bit. Okay, so this onion is going, and I'm now adding the potatoes. This is so because I want them to get a little bit of that onion flavor on them. So all my potatoes in. Give them a twirl. Let them sizzle there for a little bit. Then I'm going to get some water in there. Okay. So the potatoes and the onions have been going for like 3 minutes. I'm going to add now about 1 liter of water. And I'm going to season it with salt. And now this should cook for about 15 minutes on medium heat. Okay, so our soup has been going for 10 minutes now. So I'm now going to blend the potatoes. I'm going to add a little bit more water. So I got the hob back on, and I'm now going to introduce my cabbage. I'll just work that in. So after this comes back to the boil, it should cook for another 10 to 15 minutes, okay? Like my change of look? Yeah, this was very gently sent by my godchildren from Portugal, and they wanted me to look nice in my videos, so they were very kind to give me they actually sent a couple of them to me, and to remind me of my home. And yeah, so here it is. To my godchildren, thank you very much for your kindness, and I hope to see you soon, as the baby is coming. So I hope to see you in a couple of months. I'm going to say the same thing now in Portuguese. Just bear with me 2 seconds. Não, Miriam, obrigado pelos aventais e pelos panos, como vocês se calhar já viram nos vídeos, têm estado a utilizar. Muito obrigado, espero vê-los em breve. Se não for antes, pelo menos depois de ver o Joãozinho, espero vê-los cá. Beijinhos. Right, so back to our recipe. The soup is pretty much ready. Oh, it smells wonderfully. So I'm going to pour me a little bit, and show you where does that chorizo comes to. So here we are. I ended up using about 2 liters of water, but you need to judge that by yourself, as you need to know what sort of soup or broth you're going for. If you want it thicker or if you want it lighter, and then obviously how much of kale you're using. Okay, so here we go. Our Caldo Verde. And yeah, let's see how that goes. So what we do with the Caldo Verde now is we take a couple of slices of our chorizo, just dunk it on there, and yeah, and then in my particular case, some people do this traditionally. I absolutely love it. Some raw virgin olive oil on my Caldo Verde. This is just on top, just to finish it off. And yeah, here we go. So all I need now is a spoon. So let's see how that goes. Let's try this soup. So this is, I don't know if you know this, but this is one of the most famous soups in Portugal. It's normally made with kale, with a special kale that we call galega, meaning it comes from the north of Spain, just above Portugal. But that's the origin of the kale. Obviously, we grow our own now. But yeah, so in case we don't have that, we can use any other sort of cabbage, sometimes spring cabbage or whichever you have in season. And yeah, and we make this soup, and it's very popular in Portugal. You can eat it pretty much across the country, and it's a very easy go-to soup for the winter cold days, and also for the spring sunny days. So let's see how that goes. Being very simple, it's also very trustworthy, as in you know what to expect from a soup like this. You can feel obviously the creaminess of that potato, which is now completely mashed. Wow. The olive oil also transfers its flavors to it. The kale, the cabbage is also very nice and fresh. And now this is the moment. This is like your gift for having chosen this soup for your meal. It's those slices of chorizo. Oh my god. Oh, I long for that. I hadn't made this soup in a while. This is a gorgeous little soup. Trustworthy friend, which will keep you warm and company in those long winter nights. If you like this recipe, you know the drill. Thumbs up, subscribe, blah blah blah, and share with your friends. And if you want to know all the ingredients or how to make this, just go on my website, homeflavors.com, and yeah, and keep coming back. And I promise I'll keep coming back with nice and delicious recipes, not only from Portugal but from pretty much everywhere. Okay, thank you for watching this video.